Your father said he tried to help you, sir.
I'll go on the other side.
You got anything more to say on the way out here? Yeah, that looks good.
Why'd you do it?
Come on. What was it about Shapiro you don't like?
Why don't you like the governor?
What do you mean you have a lot of kids? What's that mean?
Well, folks, here we are with another example of when the left-wing extremists get their way and radicalize their base, how the snake always ends up eating itself. These Democrats have not learned. It's the same thing with the whole Palestinian protest. Remember, they loved it when they thought it was going to be something that was going to be thrown up in the face of Republicans. They were not expecting it when the people didn't blame Republicans for what was going on in Israel and Gaza. They pointed it directly to the source where it should be pointed, which was the Biden administration and the Democrat Party. And one thing about Democrats, it's almost like they don't realize how terrible their ideas are until you have to let them get what they want. And that sucks because we all suffer when the Democrats get what they want. No different than open borders or print money or these green new scams that sent us to inflation. Here's another example. Now, it all started off where it was great when they were doing that to Tesla dealerships and being offensive and wrecking the personal property of Tesla owners. But now the Democrats have begun to eat themselves. Now, this man, Cody Balmer, is a documented socialist. And if you know anything about socialism, they are totally all about violent takeovers. They're all about if somebody doesn't agree with you, you have every right to use extreme violence to make your point heard, which is exactly why. And in this video, I'm going to show you evidence where Democrats supporters out of their own mouth will show you the hypocrisy between Tesla dealerships and the terrorist acts on that, and with Governor Shapiro, and it'll make your jaw drop. I'm also going to show you more information about who Cody Balmer is and news reports that are not being spread around. If you notice, the lamestream media is very quiet on this. And do you know why? It does not fit their narrative. It's not some MAGA person. You know what else is crazy? They always love to say MAGA extremists. There have been no violence at any MAGA rallies. As a matter of fact, the Republican Party of today, the MAGA Republican Party of right now, is the most welcoming umbrella of any political party in America's history. The Democrat Party isn't an open umbrella. You can only be down with them if you're a victim. It's called the Victimhood Coalition. I heard the gentleman, Greg Foreman, Black Conservative Perspective, put it best. It's the Victimhood Coalition. If you're trans, you feel oppressed, come on in. If you're black, you want to still blame the white man, come on in. If you're a woman and you want to think misogyny is keeping you from getting a job, even though you're not putting in applications, doing anything, come on over here. If you're just a lonely person that's pissed off at men that get a chance to get dates or women to get dates, come on in. And so you got all of these people under this big victimhood tent, and the only thing they have in common is orange man bad, and we all need to blame somebody. But when the orange man is doing what he's supposed to do, they redirected it to Elon. So then they all got unified behind Elon. And when that wasn't working because the stock soared and you got more conservatives now supporting this green movement that the Democrats swore they were all about. But now you got Democrat politicians selling their EV, eco-friendly, climate-friendly vehicles to go get gas-guzzling vehicles, all because they're protesting, Doge finding waste, fraud, and abuse. But let's get into this story. Let's see who is Cody Balmer, and I'm going to show you video clips of the governor's mansion and what type of torch job this man did to it. So let's go. Who is Cody Balmer? Everything we know about the man accused of arson at Governor Shapiro's home. On Sunday, April 13th, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro and his family were home when an arsonist set fire to the governor's residence in Harrisburg. Cody Balmer, 38, of Harrisburg, was arrested and faces several charges, including attempted murder and arson. The man accused of setting fire to the Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's Harrisburg mansion is behind bars, denied bail, and faces charges of attempted homicide, arson, and terrorism. New details have emerged about what investigators say 38-year-old Cody Balmer planned to do during the early morning attack. And this man's a BLM supporter, a self-proclaimed socialist too. Keep that in mind. The backstory: on Sunday around 2 a.m., crews responded to reports of a fire at governor's residence on North Front Street. Governor Shapiro and his family were inside the home as fire broke out. While fire crews extinguished the blaze, an active search of the property ensued. The fire caused significant damage to parts of the home. Officials released images of the damage done to the governor's residence. I'm going to show you those. Everyone inside the residence safely evacuated and no one was injured. Pennsylvania State Police arrested and charged 38-year-old Cody Balmer of Harrisburg with attempted murder, terrorism, aggravated arson, and aggravated assault. Officials say Balmer hopped over the fence, broke into the residence, and set fire using a homemade device. The act occurred over several minutes. Balmer evaded an active search on the property and hopped over the fence to escape the scene, officials say. Now, what this really means is a breakdown or a lapse in security at the governor's mansion. I assure you somebody is fired today. Let's take a quick look at this video clip. Then I'm going to get into the more detailed video clips and we break down and prove to you his socialist ties.
Tonight, the man accused of setting fire to Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro's Harrisburg mansion is behind bars, denied bail while facing charges of attempted homicide, arson, and terrorism. This is the 10 o'clock news. I'm Sheba Russell.
I'm Jennifer Lee. Tonight, we are learning new details about what investigators say 38-year-old Cody Balmer planned to do during yesterday's early morning attack. Court documents say Balmer told police he planned to beat Governor Shapiro with a small sledgehammer if he encountered him. Balmer in court today denying claims from his family he suffered from mental illness. He also told police he was harboring hatred toward Governor Shapiro.
The fire was set just hours after the governor, his wife, their 4 children, and another family had celebrated the first night of the Jewish holiday of Passover.
If you're enjoying the video, do me a solid and hit that like button. It really helps the channel because I'll never ask you for a cash app or a super chat, but you hitting that like, it really helps spread the video around. And if you aren't subscribed to the channel, subscribe. And when you do, all you got to do is hit the notifications, then select the bell. That's all. That way you'll be notified when I upload new videos.
And Steve, investigators say this was a clearly planned attack.
And hearing all that, so it's not a stunner that no bail was given by the judge. And so we wait a week from Wednesday to see what's next when it comes to court, as his next preliminary hearing is set for April 23rd.
Why did you do that?
38-year-old Cody Balmer just stuck out his tongue, but didn't say anything to reporters coming into or coming out of court.
What was it about Shapiro you don't like?
He was arraigned on attempted murder, terrorism, aggravated arson, and many more felony charges in the fire at the governor's residence that law enforcement says Balmer admitted to setting after his arrest Sunday. The criminal complaint states Balmer admitted harboring hatred toward Governor Shapiro, and Balmer was asked specifically what he would have done if Governor Shapiro found him in the residence, to which he advised he would have beaten him with his hammer. The hammer investigators say Balmer was captured on video surveillance using to break a window on the governor's residence, then tossing the first of 3 beer bottles full of gasoline with a wick known as a Molotov cocktail, igniting a substantial fire within, then breaking in through another window where he entered the residence and started 2 more fires with 2 other Molotov cocktails. As this video provided by authorities shows the substantial damage done throughout the governor's residence, where if a door was not closed, fire investigators say the flames would have easily spread to the 2nd floor where the governor, his family, and a lot of guests were asleep.
The Molotov cocktail is no different than a gun. When I got that Molotov cocktail in my hand, I know at the end of the day, I'm going to create damage, destruction, and probably going through the terrorist's mind was, I want to kill somebody.
A man entering the door at Balmer's home told Fox 29 News' Jeff Cole he tried to get help for him.
Would you talk to us at all, sir?
No, I won't.
You won't?
I already told other people that we tried to get help for him, and that was it.
You did.
That's all I'm saying.
You tried.
That's all I'm saying.
So he had an issue during the week, you said.
I said that was all I was saying.
Okay. But let me be clear. You tried to get help for him.
No, I was clear enough.
All right, so while Balmer didn't talk to Jeff coming in or going out of court or any of the other reporters, he was forced to talk to the judge in court. Some of what he said he's been living with his parents at that house for the past year or so, hasn't had a job, has lots of kids in his words, doesn't do drugs, doesn't drink, and contrary to all the rumors, does not suffer from mental illness.
Now, is it me or does that anchor know he needs to stop dyeing his hair dark brown and his eyebrows dark brown, knowing his face looks like he's about 60 years old? But I digress from that. So this man is radicalized. Now, in this example here, you're going to see Pierce Morgan is going to pull it out of this left-wing extremist, the hypocrisy of the Democrat Party, where they want to condemn things when it affects them, but as long as it affects anybody else of a different ideology, They don't care. Check this out. It might piss you off, but I'm glad Pierce pulled this out of this woman.
Tesla has been subjected to a load of arson attacks. Chuck Schumer couldn't bring himself to condemn it. Will you condemn the arson attacks on Tesla? Yes or no?
Let me explain why people are turning to these means. The reason people are attacking Tesla.
You can't do it, can you? You cannot do it.
I don't think you should. I don't think you
it's
should.
It's actually fascinating.
Literally, what do you want me to say?
It's fascinating.
Exact language. I don't condemn people going out.
Well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this then. Do you condemn the arson attack on Governor Josh Shapiro's residence? Yes or no?
Well, of course, I don't think people should arson attack people's residence.
Of course, because he's a Democrat governor. Now you can find it in yourself to condemn an arson attack because it involves an attack on a Democrat. But when it's an arson attack on Tesla forecourts, they could have killed people. You don't care. It's the system. And by the way, you understand why people don't like Elon Musk. You've literally exposed yourself in the most priceless manner imaginable.
Wow. She said, Josh Shapiro is a person, Teslas are cars. His mansion is a thing, no different than the Tesla is a thing. Regardless, it's wrong. But that left-wing extremist was unwilling to condemn the violence. She was literally about to give an explanation. Well, and if you might have not seen the full clip, but she says, well, people aren't feeling heard. And that's why they're doing this to Teslas and, destroying that. It's okay. It's a property, blah, blah, blah. But what happened to Governor Shapiro all of a sudden? Oh, that's so wrong. Now, here's another picture. Now, the media is loving this. And you see how Cody Balmer sticking his tongue out, having a good old time with what's going on. A good old time. Now, let's check out. Here's some of his posts. Let me show you these. Then I'll show you another video clip that goes into detail. Now, this here is him having a dialogue with somebody named Joy Lynn Feliciano. He says, I'm a registered socialist, so I had gotten about 27 mail-in ballots. I got to vote for everyone twice and vote none of the above in person, plus casting a vote for his favorite cartoonist. Makes you wonder, now he's spilling the beans. How many of these other radical socialists do they send a whole bunch of ballots to? The Democrat Party is just so shady. And look at these, all of these posts. So we know he don't like Trump. We already know that. But his disdain for Joe Biden, too. Strong disdain. And obviously, Josh Shapiro, the man went as far as to break his window with a sledgehammer, throw in a cocktail. What if somebody was sleeping on that couch? Broke another window and climbed in. Then admitted that if he ran into him, he would have hit him with a sledgehammer. That is what is happening in America when we allow the media to keep lying and fear-mongering and radicalizing people, calling folks Hitler and saying that it's the end of civilization and the biggest threat to democracy, overblowing everything, when the biggest threat to democracy has been and will be Democrat leadership that cares more about foreign countries. They care more about foreign borders than ours. That you got people making videos cheering on China. Like, look at Trump. He thought he was going to do something. China's not laying down to him. You would think they're Australian or something. They're American. Now realizes that if somehow Trump doesn't win this trade war, it affects you too, fool. But they're so radicalized and so ignorant that they don't realize wishing bad for Trump and your Trump derangement is wishing bad on your own mother, father, and other family members in this country. And I'm so sick of every time something happens, they like to play victim. It's like the black girl that punched the lady in the face when they were just doing the interview, and the lady said, oh, kill all kids in foster care and all of this crap. She punched the girl in the face. So the police hunted her down and arrested her. She had the nerve to make a video saying how she was the victim and she was suckered into punching somebody in the face because she disagreed. She couldn't articulate herself anymore. And that's what these Democrats do. They'll make a statement. Oh, Trump is this, or Elon is this. All you ever have to do is just follow it up with a question. How so? This is what they do. They start, the phone starts building. F you, F Trump. And when it's in my case, they're Coon, Uncle Tom, especially if it's a black person, they never respond. They start name calling. And if it's somebody of another race other than black, same thing. Oh, you're a cult follower. Trump's your daddy. Okay, let's say all of those things are true. It doesn't negate the fact that I asked you a question that you just cannot simply articulate because you know there's no justification for your BS. Most of these people don't even know why they support what they support. I saw a video of one person at a protest, a hands-off rally, and they said, why are you here? What are you protesting hands off? The man literally said, oh, I don't know. I got a text and it said some people were going to be hanging out I come down and get a sign and just hang out. That's a lonely person that has nothing better to do than to go hang out with a whole bunch of deranged strangers, scream, yell, and protest what they don't even know. Hands off what? Hands off what? It's the dumbest stuff in the world. But let's get into this video of the governor's mansion. And we're going to hear it from Governor Shapiro himself. Let's check this out. Let's listen to the governor, because it is still sad, regardless if I disagree with his politics. You know, that man's family and friends was in that house. That's just wrong. And see, that's the one thing about us on the MAGA side. I will call out what's wrong, regardless. I don't care, Republican, Democrat. Wrong is wrong, and right is right. Democrats cannot do it. Even when Trump is doing phenomenal things or conservatives are doing good things, they cannot just say, you know what, that's a good thing they're doing, even though I disagree, but that's a good thing. That's why they're losing. That's why they're failing. That's why their numbers in the dump. They're so worried about making up stories. Oh, MAGA's got buyer remorse. How do you know? You don't spend 2 minutes talking to anybody on the MAGA side. You never spend at least 10 seconds listening to Trump. So I love how on their tent, in their blue echo chamber, they try to talk about what's going on this side. It's insane. When their own house isn't in order, it's so much backstabbing and Democrat infighting. It's not even funny. And they want us to be as deranged and upset and disappointed as they are. So they're projecting. They feel like since they're disappointed and let down, we must be too. No, our guy told us everything he was going to do. Everything leading up did not mislead us at all. And since he's been in there, he's holding it together. But check this out. Apologize for the long rant.
We don't know the person's specific motive yet, but we do know a few truths. First, this type of violence is not okay.
Now, Governor Shapiro, you know, I know this is an unfortunate situation, has never come out and condemned one attack against Elon, Tesla, or Tesla owners, not one. But now it's touched him. Now it's not okay. Now we got the media saying it's not okay. Isn't that funny? Look at that pictures.
This kind of violence is becoming far too common in our society. And I don't give a damn if it's coming from one particular side or the other, directed at one particular party or another, or one particular person or another. It is not okay. And it has to stop. We have to be better than this. And we have a responsibility to all be better.
It's funny how we all have a responsibility to be better when a Democrat is attacked. Trump had an assassination attempt on his life. None of them came out and condemned it. Not one of them. But now a fire set in a Democrat governor's home. Oh my God, we got to stop. We've been known we need to stop the violence. Do y'all remember back, I mean, you know, back in the good old days of like 2013, 2014, 2015, when you could just disagree with somebody? And y'all just disagree. You might be pissed for a minute, but you could disagree. Now, if you don't agree, you're the enemy. With the Democrat Party, even with their own, if you're not 100% lock in step, you're the enemy. And it's just insane. We got to change this. It's just not right. So here's one more picture I'm going to show you. This is him and his family. That's his girl. Apparently, these are his children. Interracial relationship, which is cool. You know, that's all good, but man, you just left those children fatherless. You just left that woman, you almost can say almost like a widow, because now she's going to have to deal with the backlash of his BS. And that's where it's come to in this country. We need to start holding the media accountable, especially people like Sonny Hostin and Joy Behar and those folks that have the ear of people like your Joy Reids that won't be happy until somebody's life is taken. Those folks would have danced. If President Trump hadn't slightly turned his head, they would have danced. And that's sad. But hey, I digress from that. I just wanted to jump in and give you an update what's going on. Yes, this man was a BLM supporter, a socialist, self-proclaimed, and now the chickens have come home to roost on the Democrat Party, and now everybody wants to stop it. And I don't care what's making it stop. If this is what's going to stop it, great. It's unfortunate it had to get here, but we're here now. It has to stop. But if you watched this video this far, I really do thank you so much. And like always, if you haven't already, hit that like button. It really does help. Subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment. Tell me what you think about the video. Most importantly, please be safe, be great. I'm Brian Maxwell saying I look forward to seeing you at the top. Over and out, y'all.